Welcome back to Union Duff. Today we are defining a very specific, modern psychological glitch that is running rampant through the independent commentary space. I call it the Shanghai Syndrome. You've heard of Stockholm Syndrome, where a hostage forms a psychological alliance with their captor. Well, the Shanghai Syndrome is when a Western internet commentator travels to a foreign, single-party authoritarian state, gets completely blinded by the shiny high-speed rail, the immaculate sidewalks, and the municipal grid, and immediately suffers a total breakdown in critical thinking. They come back to the West, sit in front of their studio microphone, and begin preaching to their audience that top-down authoritarianism is actually efficient, and that Americans are just paranoid for fearing a lack of liberty. They trade their basic human standards of freedom for the aesthetic of a running train. And right there on screen, you watch the Shanghai Syndrome take over. She sees the high-speed rail and the public infrastructure, and she literally says that it made her realize communism wasn't the enemy. She claims Americans are running a fake fear script about the Chinese government, and argues that a single-party state actually does its job better than local Western leaders. This is the peak of the illusion. It's what happens when someone doesn't know how to look past the first layer of a presentation. They treat a society like a video game where good graphics automatically mean the software isn't broken. But here is where the logic completely collapses into a double standard. In the exact same breath, she admits to the massive red flags. She tells you there were government surveillance cameras every 6 feet tracking her exact location. She tells you her entire team's internet and VPN access was immediately shut down and blacked out by the state just because a teammate looked up Tiananmen Square on Google. Under any universal standard of human liberty, a total information blackout and permanent state surveillance is a fatal system failure. But when you are suffering from the Shanghai Syndrome, your brain minimizes the boot on your neck. She actually uses that extreme overreach to claim that Westerners don't know what real overreach is, shifting the goalposts to protect the narrative. It is the ultimate luxury belief. It is very easy to romanticize a top-down regime when you are a tourist who gets to leave at the end of August. When you don't have to live under the permanent weight of a censorship matrix. You can't afford to sit on YouTube in a free country and lecture your working-class audience about how great the dictatorship is because the interstates are clean. So let's close the book on this software update and look at the ultimate reality check. Liz, if you are watching this, let's ask the real question. Where exactly did you leave the right? Because according to your own timeline, you didn't leave because of a sudden awakening about domestic policy. You left because you joined a Chinese university organization for a summer, looked at their pristine infrastructure, and downloaded a foreign state script hook, line, and sinker. You sit in front of a microphone in a free Western country, protected by individual liberties, and tell your audience that a single-party authoritarian regime does its job well. You minimize the fact that they have surveillance cameras tracking you every 6 feet and block your entire team's internet for trying to look up history. It is the ultimate luxury belief. You love the system so much because you had the first world privilege of holding an American passport that allowed you to fly right back home to safety when the summer ended. So here is the universal standard challenge. If you genuinely believe that top-down, single-party authoritarian control is superior to Western liberty, how about you stand on your principles? How about you give up your American citizenship, pack your bags, and move there permanently? Let's see how long your independent commentary channel lasts when you have to live under the exact surveillance grid and information blackouts you are romanticizing on YouTube. But you won't do that. Because deep down, the software knows that the matrix you complain about is the very thing protecting your right to complain. Stop playing semantic games for the algorithm. Drop the luxury beliefs, and stand on solid ground. So this is Union Duff, signing out.